Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the brand new Division video. What up guys, today is my solo Dark Zone build. Now if you guys didn't know, I don't really like playing the Dark Zone by myself. I don't know why. Whenever the game came out and everyone was grinding the Dark Zone, I was always that one person that if I didn't have my friends on, I would never play the Dark Zone. I would rather go and farm PvE bosses or anything like that. But for the past few weeks, I don't know what happened, something changed in my mind and I really like playing the Dark Zone by myself. It's not even the aspect of killing players or going rogue or anything like that. I just like going in there by myself and kind of just relying on myself, on my own build to pretty much keep me alive. So for the past couple of days, I've been actually working on a really good build. I had a build that I used previously, but I kind of changed it up. I took some things out, I put some new things in, and I like this build way better. And this is a great build if you're going in the Dark Zone by yourself or even Last Stand, whatever you choose. This is a overall really good build. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. We're going to start off with abilities first. I like doing these first because I know a lot of people always have questions. So what I'm using is Overdose for this build. Now you can go with Booster Shot, it really doesn't matter that much. As you guys can see, my heals are pretty good. I get around 172,000 health every time I use my heals. So that's really good, although it takes a little bit for the cooldown. It is alright because I could always use my medkits. As for my other ability, I'm using the Scrambler Pulse. Now I find this really useful if you're by yourself. Even if you're playing with like 2 or 3 other people, you want to always use the Concealer because it just pretty much saves your butt whenever you're rogue and whenever you're just trying to kind of like stay low-key in the Dark Zone. So I would recommend using those two. As I said, you can go and use Booster Shot. It really depends on your personal preference. Now as for the build, this is what I'm rocking with. As you guys can see, it is a exotic / high-end concept build, and I really like this build. It's all balanced out. My skills are really good, my toughness and my health is pretty good, and my primary DPS is really high. Also my base damage just pretty much melts anyone in my sights. So I'm going to go over the weapon first. As you guys can see, we have the lightweight M4 as the primary. Now what I'm rocking on it is Adept, Responsive, and Deadly. In my opinion, this is the best combination. You can go with something like Unforgiving in the free slot. I know a lot of people don't really like Deadly on assault rifles, but since I do have Adept, I like having Deadly because, you know, just more damage for me. Also, my base damage on it is 24.9k, which isn't too high, but it's not, you know, on the low side. And I also have a little bit more rate of fire thanks to my magazine. And lastly, we do have 22% enemy armor damage on this weapon. So this is going to be the primary weapon I'm going to be using if I'm rogue, if I'm killing NPCs, whatever. This is the weapon I am sticking with. Now for my secondary, this is a weapon I use whenever I go against bosses. I normally don't pull this out if I'm rogue or manhunt or whatever, but it is the custom M44. Now this one's really good. It does have 170% headshot damage, which is very high and really rare to find. It also comes with 147k base damage, which is very good. As for the talents, I do have Brutal, Disciplined, and Prepared. Now in my opinion, Disciplined is something that you can reroll definitely, but I like having that because whenever I kill the NPCs, I know my next shot will be a critical hit damage. So whenever I see a player running towards me, they're rogue or whatever, I just want to kill them, I always shoot them first to do the maximum damage, switch my M4 and just finish them off, and you know, I get the kill 9 out of 10 times. So that's why I do have this custom M44. And also Prepared is really good whenever you're sniping away at bosses or just random NPCs that are annoying and shooting you in the back. It comes in handy, and I don't know, I stacked into headshot damage. It's really good and I am rocking with it. Obviously you can go with something like a MP5 or MP7. It's personal preference. I like having the sniper because the NPCs and Disciplined is just really good in my opinion. The final weapon I do have is the M45A1. Now there's nothing special about this. The only thing I want to show you guys is Harmful. Now this is really good whenever you're chasing someone that's rogue or you just want to kill them or just annoy them. It's pretty much whatever. This is really good because having a bleed pistol comes in handy so much. It pretty much slows them down whenever they're bleeding, and I don't know, it's pretty much the pistol you want to use if you're trying to make a good Dark Zone build. Finally, moving on to the gear, I'm going to show you guys the gear mods off the bat. I know a lot of people always have questions and I tend to forget about my gear mods like in all my build videos, so I do apologize for that. I'm going to show you guys that right now. So for my chest, I'm actually using 2 firearms / health mods. For my mask, I'm actually using a firearms and health mod once again. For my knee pads, I'm using another firearms health mod. And then for my backpack, I do have a little bit different. and I went with a stamina and health mod. Now obviously you can go with something like skill haze, skill power, even if you want like pulse critical hit damage on your mods. It's personal preference. I like having a little bit more health on my build, and obviously the firearms to do a little bit more damage. Lastly, for my performance mods, I'm using all first aid self heals that are 6%. Alright, now since that's done, you guys know what gear mods I'm using on all my gear. I'm gonna go into the gear pieces itself. So first up we have the Barrett's chest piece. Now this is really good if you want your heals to be a little bit better before you pop your pulls or anything. You do get a skill power increase of 10%, which is really good, and even if you do that, then you get a 5% weapon increase, and when both your skills are done, you get a armor increase, which is also really nice. I do have 16,410 health on it, 8% skill haze, and increased kill XP, so that is pretty much it for my chest piece. As for the mask, I'm using a refreshed mask. I've been using this forever. Although my overdose is pretty strong itself, having the 30% improved when I'm in the last segment, it just makes it a little bit better, and I get my overshield almost every time. I also have 4% critical hit chance and an increased kill XP on this mask. Moving down for the knee pads, I'm rocking with the striker knee pads. I do have a pretty nice health roll of 16,516 and also a firearms roll. As for the minor attributes, I do have disarm resistance, burn, and bleed resistance. In my opinion, if I could get shock resistance instead of bleed, that would be way better, but you know, it is what it is. I'll keep them because they are rolled pretty nicely. Next up, moving to the backpack, we have a specialized backpack. It does have a 1250 electronics roll with 13,320 skill power and also bleed resistance. The one thing with the backpack, you always want to go with skill power and electronics if you want your heals or your pulls to be a little bit better. I find it to work the best with the backpack. Obviously you can have skill power on your mask if you don't want the critical hit chance. It is personal preference once again. Moving on to the gloves, we are rocking with the Skull MC gloves. This is where I pretty much get all my damage from. I have assault rifle damage, enemy armor damage, and critical hit damage. The one thing is, I wish I had a critical hit chance. 6% would be very helpful, or even skill haze would be very nice instead of enemy armor damage. But once again, I'll take them because they are pretty good. Last but not least, for the holster, we're using the sturdy holster. I explained this in my previous videos why I like using this. Just getting the armor increase is really nice when you're in cover, and especially when you're playing solo, you just want everything to pretty much help you out. You can obviously go with something like a nimble holster, that's really good as well, but you know, in my opinion, it's just whatever for the holster. I do also have health rolled on it, and then a 1200 above roll for my firearms, stamina, and electronics. As I said, I used this before. I used it actually without a Barrett's chest piece. I used Vigorous, I'm pretty sure, or Rapid, and it was pretty good, but I wanted my heals to be even better and just to pretty much work the build a little bit more. So I did go with the Barrett's chest piece. It's not a perfect roll or anything, but it does help out my skills, my damage, and my armor overall, so that's why I did go with it. So that is pretty much for the video. Oh, the one thing I want to show you guys is my weapon damage. So as you guys can see, I do have 24,892 with almost 10% critical hit chance, but keep in mind that does get increased since I do have Adept. And as for my max health, I'm sitting around 212,000. Now this is not the highest amount, I wish it was a little bit higher, but since my overdose is really strong and I get it quite fast, it is okay with me. And to be honest, 212,000 health isn't really, you know, a low amount, so I'm okay with it. And if you know how to work it correctly, if you know how to like kind of time your medkits and your heals, it is going to work out perfectly. Anyways, that pretty much concludes the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for my videos. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I respond to all my comments. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.